Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your author Mark, inviting you for another economic discussion. Now, I've this time I'm going to venture beyond Fox Business Network and the American news media for this story. Recently, I've been watching the China Post, China Morning Post, and things like that here on YouTube, and I've I found a very interesting video that I found from the China Morning Post. I found that on YouTube. Now, I understand that you have to question everything that is coming from the China Morning Post and things like that. You have to be very diligent when you do this type of economic research and all those stuff. So, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I am here to talk about is I found out something very interesting, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, that in China the live stream e- economy is collapsing again. I'm going to repeat this again. What I did find out was that the live stream economy in China is collapsing. Now, what my question is now: are we talking about for this discussion? I'm going to say, okay, are they talking about a YouTube economy is collapsing as well? Because I'm just saying, if we're going to talk about the live stream economy, we have to talk about the social network platforms. Now, by the way, I am going to include this video that I am referring to on this video. I'm going to include it in the description, and I am going to put it down in the comment section. And I would love your opinion on it. What do you guys think? Now, my question, the reason I decided to do a video on this particular subject is because what I think is going to happen is if the China's so-called YouTube and streaming economy collapses, okay, then unfortunately I feel that here in America, unfortunately, we are next because I know what I've been hearing on the news that's saying, oh yeah, we're going to decouple from China and all these Chinese economy and all this other things. But in reality, the way, look, I know that I have received a the grade of C from statistics and and uh, and some other economic subjects in 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 my university career. But what I'm going to use is some common sense that okay, a lot of people are talking about decoupling from China, this and that. You hear from on the conservative news media, etc., etc. And I'm not saying that those conservative reporters on Fox Business Network do not make sense but they do. Some of their analysis does make sense. But my question to you is, my question is, if the so-called live stream economy in China and I call this the YouTube economy in China is going to collapse over there in China, I think we are next, and that is because, unfortunately, whether we can talk about when we talk about decoupling from China or not, all those stuffs, I think that we, no matter what happens, we are connected with the Chinese economy, whether we like it or not. Is is the so-called live stream economy is this going to affect us here on YouTube as well? Well, it may, and the problem is because and the problem with that is because if the YouTube economy, aka the live stream economy, goes down, all the other businesses go out of business because I also was looking on the China Morning Post. Their mall is collapsing. Their basically their store economy is collapsing, and all the other business economy is collapsing in China. Because I've been reading the China Morning Post, ladies and gentlemen. But from what I've been reading and watching here on YouTube, is that the Chinese economy is collapsing and the real estate market is collapsing, etc., etc. But my question is, are we on the way to collapse as well? And I mean, I'm not making jokes about it because I understand it's not funny. I am talking about, and on this channel, I am going to give you the real deal. I'm going to keep you informed on what's really going on. And the thing is, question is if the China economy collapses, is the United States economy next? I mean, like I said, yes, we could talk about certainly about decoupling from China, etc., etc. But I think it's impossible if to decouple from China because, believe it or not, let's look at it this way: because everything you buy from Walmart, ladies and gentlemen, for example, everything that's made in for the Walmart consumer, it's basically made in China. Our components to our cars, whether we want to believe it or not, are still made in China. Because now, I heard our politicians talking about that we're going to have to bring everything back and all that stuff. Now, that is a may I say, that is a wonderful dream. But at this stage, ladies and gentlemen, it's only a dream because all it's all that decoupling thing. It's going to take time. So it's going to take a very, very long time for us to decouple from China. Now, the next thing is now. The question is, the next part I want to discuss in this video is, and that has to do with the first part that we discussed, is that, with all this economic collapse going on around the world, because the rent prices are skyrocketing in Poland, the food prices are skyrocketing all over the place, all over the place around the world. The rent prices are going up. The food prices are going up. Now, the question is, okay, we all know that the economy is going to collapse. It's on its way to collapse. I mean, 2 plus 2 is still going to equal 4, ladies and gentlemen. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, the next thing that we have to discuss is, and I really don't like discussing this, but as part of my economic discussion, I will. There's a thing called up there, universal basic income. Now, to be honest with you, and I'm going to be honest with my viewers here, I am not a big fan of universal basic income, because then you're basically getting paid for, basically, in my opinion, the way, I mean, I might be wrong, ladies and gentlemen, but the way I look at it, the way I read the research material on the universal basic income, is that basically in reality you are getting paid for actually doing nothing. So, is universal basic income good or bad or ugly? Well, I personally, I am not a big fan of universal basic income, because it's going to stop people from inventing things. It's going it's going to stop people from, you know, wanting wanting to basically do innovating things like, you know, making better medicine for people, or developing cures and all that stuff. But the question after that with the universal, I'm not a big fan of it, is because, I mean, one way looking at it, universal basic income has a place, I would say, in our society at this point. That is because one way looking at it, the way I say that sometimes that universal basic income has a place in our society, because, and I'm not a big fan of it, but the thing is, question is, if if the economy collapses all around the world, because this is the way it looks, with all the rent prices around the world going up, food prices going up. So I would feel that this is a global economic collapse. Now, if this economy of ours collapses globally, then the global universal basic income, we will have to accept it, because we will not have a choice. Now, with I mean, the thing is with the collapse of the live stream economy in China, we have to ask ourselves what is going to happen to platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and etc. Because I mean, because, and that is the cream of the crop of this particular discussion. It's like, okay, if the live stream economy, aka YouTube economy, collapses, what is going to happen to us as YouTubers, and what is going to happen to the live stream economy, to our whole entire global economy altogether? Now, if you guys would like to continue this particular discussion, you can write to me right in the comments, and maybe we can continue this particular, maybe because I'm looking for people's opinions on this, because I mean, we can continue this particular discussion down in the comment section. So please tell me what you think. Now, I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you in my next video.